This is one of the best book series I have ever read. Oh my god, I love all the characters now. I love everyone. My emotions are all over the place, guys. Oh, why do they feel like they're my friends? Not too long ago, I filmed a video where I read 7 romance books in 7 days. Actually read them in 6 days, but you know, 7 sounds better. And one of the books that I picked up in that vlog was Magnolia Parks, the first book in the Magnolia Parks universe. And reading that book, I had a very intense emotional reaction to it. If you watch the vlog, then you already know. So what are we doing today? Today is technically another continuing series I'm in the middle of video, but this is solely for the Magnolia Parks universe, because in this vlog I'm going to read every Magnolia Parks book that's out right now. I don't know how long it's going to take me, we'll see. I read Magnolia Parks, the first book, in that reading romance book video, so that will be linked down below if you haven't seen it. That's where I read book 1 and you get my full reaction and thoughts. So we're picking it up today here and reading book 2. If you didn't watch my reading 7 romance books in 7 days and hadn't watched me read the first Magnolia Parks books, and you don't know what Magnolia Parks books are about, these are technically classified as like contemporary romance, but I wouldn't say they're a romance. It's so hard to explain. My personal like short description of what these books are is it's a story about London's elite. So the rich people who live in London. And the series is split into Magnolia Parks books and Daisy Haites books. Magnolia Parks is a socialite. She loves fashion. She is like the it girl of London, and she has a group of friends and they're all known as the cool kids in London, the millionaires, the rich kids. They all went to school together, they all grew up together, they're all best friends, and this gives like Gossip Girl and Maid and Chelsea vibes. You're getting a sneak peek into the life and the behind the scenes of what these people are going through with like heartbreak, love, friendship, navigating being famous. And the Daisy Haites books follow Daisy, and Daisy is also like a millionaire, but she runs in London's crime scene because her brother is an arts dealer or an arts thief. There's a lot of like mafia gang type of vibes in this book. The Magnolia Parks books follow the point of views of Magnolia and BJ. One of Magnolia and BJ's best friends in that circle of friendship group is Christian. And Christian gets a point of view in these Daisy Haites books because he is also part of like old money crime type of thing, and it follows Daisy and Julian Haites, and it all overlaps. So they all run in the same circles, they're all friends with each other, but you have 2 very different subplots happening. Magnolia Parks and Daisy Haites books follow the same timeline. So these 2 books happen in the exact same timeline. The actual plot points and things that happen in these books are different, so it doesn't feel like you're reading the same book told twice. There are crossovers where you get to read about the same things happening from the other perspective, but overall they're like 2 different stories just happening at the same time. And then again we have Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home and Daisy Haites The Great Undoing. These 2 follow the same timeline. In my head, this is book 1 and this is book 2. I don't think it's fair to read book 1 and then just you know, decide the series not for you and not pick it up. Like, you have to read at least book 1 and book 2 before making a judgment on this series, because you get the full story when you read both of them. But I am gonna say straight up that the best part of the series comes in this installment. Like, what you think the story is in these books and what happens does not even compare to this. Like, this is so insane. You keep watching the vlog and you'll see. If you haven't read the series, or you have read some of the books but not all of them, or you don't want any spoilers, I am going to preface this by saying this vlog, I'm not actively going to talk about spoilers, but you're going to get my thoughts and reactions while I'm reading. So it could potentially indirectly spoil some things or hint at things. There will be a spoilers section at the end of this video where I will talk openly about things that happen in the book and my thoughts. This reading vlog is following the same format as my other ones. Like, I'm not going to openly discuss and talk about big plot points or huge spoilers until the very end. But if you don't want any type of hints or spoilers, or to know anything about the series and what happens, if you don't want to see my reactions of if I cry or get upset or any hints at what could potentially be happening in these books, then this probably isn't the video for you. So just putting that out there, I am keeping this as much of a spoiler-free vlog as I can, with spoilers at the end. Okay, anyways, I think that's enough. Like, we're here to see me read the Magnolia Parks book, so let's get into the actual reading part of the vlog. I actually started book 2 yesterday. I'm 71% of the way through Daisy Haites, and I actually did place an order for The Long Way Home and The Great Undoing because I already have Into the Dark on my shelf, but I was hoping to finish this book with the physical copy version of it. It hasn't arrived in time, and I'm definitely going to finish the rest of this book tonight. Like, I will be done with Daisy Haites. I honestly just haven't been able to put this book down. It is so good. I definitely think I prefer Daisy Haites to Magnolia Parks. I think the drama and the action in this book, the emotions aren't as intense as in Magnolia Parks. I feel like there's just something about Magnolia and BJ that is absolutely gut-wrenching for me and really makes me feel sick. But Daisy, I definitely think is my favorite female main character in this. Like, I really love Daisy as a person so far. I'm nervous because after reading book 1, this book series can really go anyway. Absolutely everyone in my comments is telling me that it's only going to get worse and my emotions are going to hit even harder and I'm going to need tissues for the rest of the books. Now, book 1 and book 2 happen in the same timeline, so I already feel prepared reading this. Like, I know what's going to happen and what's sort of coming at the end. Obviously, we have added characters of Daisy and Julian in this who don't really make too much of an appearance in the other book, but, you know, we have Christian as well. I do really like Christian. I prefer him way more to BJ. I think they're less toxic overall, but still like a bit dysfunctional. But I'm definitely going to finish this, and I am nervous for starting The Long Way Home. I am. I know sort of why the books are named what they are. Like, I'm pretty sure The Long Way Home is because he took the long way home, metaphorically. And I know Into the Dark, Jessa Hastings said it was called Into the Dark because the characters really go into the dark. So I'm expecting really heavy emotional turmoil, destruction, toxicity, heartbreak to come. Like, I don't know if I'm ready. So once the physical books arrive, that's when I'll start the next ones. But today we're gonna finish this off. And honestly, even though I'm preferring this book to Magnolia Parks, it might be a similar rating. I don't know, because there's like less happening. For today, we're gonna finish Daisy Haites. Less than 50 pages to go and everything is imploding. I'm also really nervous for Julian's subplot that's happening. I don't have a good feeling, and I have a bad feeling about how all of like the little subplots and characters are gonna connect, because so far it's not adding up. The first book I was feeling sick because of like the emotional stuff that was happening, but this one I'm feeling sick because I actually care about these characters. Like, I like Julian and Daisy, and Christian is just too proud. I couldn't imagine being someone who just can't say what they're thinking or feeling. Alright, let's get this done. Oh wait, I've literally just read the chapter and it's picking up from where book 1 ended. So this is like insight. Oh god, I feel sick. Well, I know where she goes when she gets to Heathrow. Julian, 15 pages. Far out. Oh no. Oh no. That is not the direction I thought it was going to go, but it's so much worse. Oh no. Interesting. Just finished. God, that really hurt. I'm not ready for book 3 and book 4. At the end of Daisy Haites, there was like 10 pages of Magnolia Parks. I feel sick again. I feel so sick. God, I feel so nervous and shaky reading these books. I definitely think I'm a Daisy girly, but I really love Julian and I don't feel good about that. Oh, why am I already emotionally attached to these characters that are just gonna hurt me? new reading spot unlocked. We're actually reading in my reading room for a bit. I'm gonna go read in bed to switch to Kindle in a little bit, but I think we've got like an hour or so that we can do some reading in here for. And my physical copies of the Magnolia Parks books have come. I do love the original covers, but these look so cute on my shelf now. I'm kind of a little bit obsessed with them. So far, I definitely think I'm a Daisy Haites girly. Like, I think I'm a Daisy girly, which apparently, according to some of my comments, makes sense. I just love a bit of a fiery, badass character. Just thinking about this book series makes me feel sick. Let's just start reading. Right off the jump, I'm already enjoying this more than the last two books. Like, it's really picking up. No. No. I've literally said when I read book one that I hate all the characters, and you're not gonna make me ship characters. You're not gonna make me like them. 60 pages in and I'm folding. I feel bad for them. I feel sad. There is no justifying what happened in book one. I was like, there's literally no way that you can come back from this. There is no way that what happened was okay and we're gonna normalize it and romanticize it. And we haven't. We have not romanticized it at all, but oh my god. I feel sick. I feel so bad. Oh my god. It makes sense. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Oh, this book is gonna make me cry, isn't it? Oh, that is not nice. Oh my god, we're like 90 pages in. Oh, it is just one thing after the other. I feel so bad for both of them now. Like, so much is making sense, and there's so many details in book one that were there in plain sight to see. How did I miss them? I actually need to do a reread. Oh my god. I want to go and annotate the book. Why is it that when I'm reading the book I'm not picking up on these things, but as soon as the realizations hit, I'm picking up on them? What is going on? 25% of the way through, and I get the hype. I understand it now. I feel like something in my brain has just clicked. So much that's just been dumped on me in this book. So much trauma. Things are starting to make sense now. I feel like we're getting more depth, more understanding of these characters. Like, actions are aligning with situations. We also love a man that goes to therapy, but far out. If you try to describe this series to me based on what is actually happening in the book and the plot and the story, would I go and read it and think that I would love it? Probably not, no. But like, experiencing it is completely different. And it's also not what I thought it was going to be. I don't know what I thought it was going to be, but everyone describes the book so vaguely. Like, it just doesn't even scratch the surface of what the books actually are, or what it's like to experience reading them. I've read nothing like this before. Book one and book two were 4 stars for me. This is going to be higher. I'm speechless. But what I am going to do now is switch over to Kindle because I want to go read in bed now. It's like 11 p.m. So maybe if we can do like another hour or so of reading, that would be ideal. I just need to go sit in dark and read this and maybe have a little bit of a cry. We're gonna sit and finish The Long Way Home now. We've got like less than 300 pages to go. I'm not ready. Things have been too good so far. Well, not even good. Like, things have been bad, but not Magnolia Parks level bad. Like, when things are bad in this book, they are so bad. And things have been starting to decline because they were doing okay. And now it's like, all right, we're going down. Yeah, maybe we'll dip back up again, and then the ending, I'm sure, will absolutely ruin me. But I have been getting some comments and messages from people being like, come back to me when you finish this book. The ending of this book is, I have a bad feeling. I feel like I know what's gonna happen. I just don't know who it's gonna happen to, because a lot of the stuff that has been, you know, happening is quite dangerous. So I feel like something bad's gonna happen. This is me right now saying I'm halfway through The Long Way Home. Let's read. I have a glass of 0% sparkling wine. It's Freixenet 0%, so like non-alcoholic. Probably will need like an actual alcoholic drink finishing this book, but oh. I actually love Magnolia and Christian's friendship in this book. Like, I love it. I think it's so fun. I'm so like giddy when I read their pages. Daisy, Julian, Christian, and Magnolia. I think that's my favourite combo. The first part of the book, I was like, I'm liking BJ a bit more and things are making more sense. But when we got to like the 30% mark and he was just being typical BJ, I'm like, oh, far out. Because right now what he's saying is practically like, I'm not gonna do anything until she does it first. But I'm like, you were the one who was wrong in the first place. Like, I don't care if you're taking the long way home. You could have just shortcut it by now. Like, why? Why are you torturing both of you like that? Like, why are they doing it to each other? Like, come on. Magnolia has been really honest and upfront, and I'm really enjoying this version of her. I'm really liking Magnolia in this, so I'm like, oh, Beach, come on. There is very much something about Magnolia that I relate to a lot. Like, she's got OCD, which I also have, but she's also a bit of a bossy bitch, which I am. She's also a handful, which I also am. It's almost like all of her worst traits are also mine. Twins. Especially the whole like showering before bed, and how once you get into your bed at bedtime, if you get out again, you need to wash your feet or you can't sleep. And I'm like, that's literally me. I need to have a shower before bed because I have to wash my feet. And I hate the feeling of that. It's... ugh. But speaking of OCD, this just sums it up so well. Like, she literally has a splinter in her wrist and she's trying to get it out and she can't. And she's saying like, please help me. I can feel it just sitting there. I won't be able to sleep if you don't. He says, why? And she says, because I can't put the thought down. Wow, I've never heard that like explained in such a way. That just sums up how I feel constantly with OCD and stuff. That is... having like an epiphany over here. I have like less than 100 pages to go and it's not going good. Julian, what are you doing? Oh, I love Julian so much. I know exactly what he's doing, that's the thing. We know exactly what he's doing. Julian! Oh. Oh. Oh, I love Julian, but I'm so anxious. I love this group of friends so much. So much. Oh, why do they feel like they're my friends? Why does it... that this series just feels so real, even though it is so far-fetched with millionaires and gangs and gang lords and... but I'm sure that does exist in the real world. Like, it obviously is real for some people, but not for my life. But this feels real. I feel like I'm living in this world. I am absolutely obsessed with all the side characters in this. Oh, BJ's family. So much banter. Oh, so funny. I'm laughing right now, but I know I'm gonna be crying very soon. I'm absolutely living for Magnolia and Daisy forming some type of like friendship in this. Like, I'm loving it so much because I'm a Daisy hates girly, but I've been saying this whole time, like, I think the reason I don't like Magnolia so much is because she's like the worst of me, but I kind of love her now. I don't know. Reading everything about Magnolia and what people say about her, I'm like, that's literally me. So I kind of relate to her and I like her because she's me. I love Daisy. I think Daisy's cool. She's like my favorite character, my favorite female character. So I'm like, I like the two of them together because it's like the two sides of me. This one, it makes me happy. I'm trying to think if this book would pass the Bechdel test, and I don't think it is or does. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I think my theory is happening. Oh my god, no, that is... Into the Dark is... It's gonna be so hard to read. Oh, I need to immediately start the next book though. Oh my god. We are starting the next book. I'm gonna read for a little bit in paperback and then probably just read it on my Kindle for the rest of the night. So it's so much easier to read the Daisy Haites books in the physical copy because you actually have like the footnotes on the same page, whereas every time there's one on my Kindle I have to touch it and then wait for the pop-up screen and then close it and then touch it again, whereas this I can just flick through, so I feel like it's easier to read. But this one is 100 or so pages shorter, so I feel like we could get half of this done tonight, to be fair, and then finish the other half tomorrow and then start Into the Dark. But now Into the Dark, characters are really going to be going into the dark after how that ended and how I assume this is going to end from what I just read in the books. Oh, I feel sick. Let's read. My emotions are all over the place, guys. It's the next day. I'm still wearing the same jumper. Anyways, I'm like 50% of the way through The Great Undoing and I just want to sit and binge the last bit. Like I just want to read it and get it done. I am definitely a Daisy girl, and I'm loving the scenes of Daisy and Magnolia together, and especially because we get more of it in this book. But after The Long Way Home, I'm also a Magnolia stan. Like I love all the characters now. I love everyone. My tune has changed, but I can't stop thinking about Into the Dark, and I can't stop thinking about how I just want to jump into that and read that, and I know I'm going to be crying a lot, but I can't believe people actually had to finish The Long Way Home and then wait for Into the Dark. I'm so lucky that I've got it here and I can just like read it after, but I'm so not ready for what's going to happen in this and at the end and finding out what's happened. You know what I mean? If you know, you know. But I did also just place an order at House of Jupiter because they have a no guns at the dinner table jumper that I really wanted, and I saw that it was like running out of stock, so I just spontaneously ordered that. So now I'm going to have Magnolia Parks merch to add to my bookish merch collection, which is already insane as it is, but I'm just going to sit and read as much as I can on my lunch break now. I can't believe I'll have finished this whole series in like 2 weeks. It's consuming my thoughts. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do when I finish. I guess wait for the next book, because there's going to be 2 more books from like Daisy Haites books. I just love it so much. I'm 64% of the way through and I love Julian. I mean, I've always loved Julian. Reading his like inner monologue of things that I know have happened, like I knew reading The Long Way Home that he was doing things for a certain reason, and then reading this and knowing that's exactly why he did do that and he was feeling that way, it just is breaking my heart a little bit more. I love them together. I'm very happy. It would be very good to just end the story now and everyone lives happily ever after, but that is not the case because I know what is coming. It is officially after work, which means we can finally sit and finish the rest of this book. How far are we on the Kindle? Let's see. I was using Kindle during my lunch break, obviously, because it was just faster and easy to read, but 72% of the way, 100 pages to go. Let's read. I think Magnolia accidentally interrupting a gang meeting is one of the funniest things I've read. Some of this book is like so serious and emotional and heartbreaking and like raw, and then the other parts is just like pure hilarious banter. It's the great undoing of my heart as I know it. I cannot do this. Oh no. Oh god, watching that from the other side is so sad. I mean, I feel like the Magnolia Parks books are more shocking, but because you know what happens going into the Daisy Haites timeline, it's not as surprising. So the Magnolia books hit harder, but I love the characters in the Daisy Haites one more. Does that make sense? Oh no, what's going on? I need to sit and think on this one for a bit, but I immediately need to start the next book, so that is what we're gonna do. I literally have nothing to say. For me, the series is giving 5 stars. Like, I would say this is a 5-star series, but I feel like I need time to process. I think I'm going into my ratings too quickly. Like, I just need to sit and think about the books and how I feel about them, and then go in and rate them after, because what the hell? This book is my undoing. For some reason, the book is like printed really closely to the top and has quite a lot of space below. Interesting. Also, it's huge. Let's see how much of a dent I can make today. I'm only 2 chapters in and I'm already upset. Also, like, the realization that this is a Magnolia Parks book and probably not gonna find out anything of significance about Julian and Daisy, so I feel sick for them as well already. This series is so good. I understand. I never thought that I would like books that emotionally wreck me. I think the trigger for, well, I mean, I started with Akatar and read Throne of Glass. Both of those emotionally destroyed me. I cried at both of those series. Zodiac Academy as well. The Twisted Sisters are really twisted, but I'm not used to it in like a contemporary fiction. I'm so used to it being like fake worlds and make-believe, so it's easier to compartmentalize your feelings with those. Even though I literally got tattoos for Akatar and Throne of Glass because they were like life-changing for me, but it feels real, but not as real as like this. This is soul crushing. Can someone please let me know any info on the next 2 Daisy Haites books, which are what, the last books in the series? 2 Daisy Haites books back to back as well is interesting. But I need to eat food and I need to have a shower, so I think I'm actually going to put the audiobook on because I have some time left on my Spotify to listen to the audiobook. I think I'm gonna listen to the audiobook, have a shower, get comfy, make some food, and then I'm probably gonna switch over to the Kindle book for a bit because of just how big it is. Like, I feel like I need to get a bit more of a chunk into this for it to be comfortable because it's printed a lot smaller than the other books. The formatting, like, it's weird, it's offset. This book series, even though it's like so heavily emotional and just intense, it's not like draining me. I don't know, it feels like I'm being completely emotionally drained but also like revived at the same time. I don't know how that makes any sense, but that's the only way I can explain it. I literally just got such a bad feeling because I was like, what is this bomb that's about to get dropped? What is this lie that is being kept? And it turns out it's not what I thought, which is a relief, but also like messy. The side characters in this book are giving the drama right now. I'm 11% of the way through. It's just so heavy. BJ in this book versus BJ in book 1 is such a stark contrast. Like, it is insane. The character development in these books, oh, it's mental. But this is definitely like a darker, heavier, emotional book. It's literally going into the dark, reading about like Magnolia's OCD and control issues and stuff. It's really, really heartbreaking. I just love the characters in this book. It is the next day. I'm not feeling well, so I'm doing some reading in bed. But what you can't see here is I have all of the Magnolia Parks books out because there are certain quotes and pages that I just cannot stop thinking about, and I really regret not tabbing the books while I was reading them. But I think I actually need to physically annotate these books. Like, I've never had the desire to write on a book before. I literally have all the books. I have to sit here and I have to tab and I have to annotate and I have to write on the pages. I have to underline and highlight things. I have never done this before. I just tab usually, tab stuff, but this, I'm like, tabbing is not strong enough. Some of these things that are said cut so deep into my heart now that I need to mark them physically. I'm actually listening to the audiobook and I have this morning. I'm literally just trying not to cry while reading this. Chapter 43. Julian's back. I love Julian so much, like so ridiculously much. I'm so nervous for the next books. Also, I don't even know what happened because I've been reading Kindle, but I opened the book and it just immediately went like this, and I was like, oh no, the spine is like, do you see that? Is it because I'm like 50% of the way through? Look at that, I didn't even do that. I literally just opened the book and it immediately went flat. So yeah, I feel like this isn't a book that I'm worried about keeping in a perfect condition because I'm gonna go and write all over it anyways. So I'm gonna sit here and tab and annotate while I'm listening to the audiobook 50% of the way exactly through.
Joe thinks we're Shakespearean. I tell her afterwards, staring up at nothing. But the lesser known ones, Benedict and Beatrice, Orlando and Rosalind.
It is time to read the rest of the book. I actually ran out of Spotify listening time. Like I said, we are over 50% of the way through the book now. So I am on chapter 46, page 365, and I'm just gonna sit and read as much of this as I can now. As you saw, I went and like tabbed and annotated some parts of the books, highlighted. Because I read most of the other books on Kindle, I had like old highlights saved on my Kindle, so I just went in and like tabbed and highlighted quickly some of the other books, but I think I'll need to do like a full reread of this series. Are you asking for my attention now? You're very bossy lately. You've wanted to interrupt every single vlog, haven't you? But yeah, I'm just gonna read it and finish this book tonight. I do have to say though, like I still can't get over the character arc and development we've had from book one, like especially like Magnolia Parks book one. I actually love BJ's mum so much. I can't remember if it was in or not. If it was in, you'd remember. But it's never been in Darling, Lily reminded him, so it's all fine. Are you kidding me? Henry, go give your brother a hand. Hamish Ballantyne, the man that you are. Oh my god, I love that family so much. What an awful, awful human being. This book is just one big therapy session for all the toxic, fucked up shit that we got to live through in like the first books, and understanding why the characters the way that they are. I have like 100 pages to go. I just read that Daisy and Julian chapter. I'm actually so nervous for the next Daisy Haites book. After that, like that has really just like, it's not good. I'm so close to being done. I feel like everything that's happened so far, I've really loved. I don't feel like there's been any like filler. Like I know this book is like double the length of a normal one, but I feel like for the final book of Magnolia and BJ, it makes sense, it feels right. Bless you, Cooper. Because we've got like a lot to wrap up here after everything that's gone on, and progress doesn't just happen overnight, you know, but I don't like how the Hems are acting. I don't like how the Haites are acting. I want the next Daisy Haites book now. This is a 5-star series. I don't understand how people don't like these books. I feel like once you've read the first 2 books, you're hooked. We're in the home stretch, we've got 50 pages to go. I feel like it's starting to like wrap up and I don't like it. Like I can't believe I'm about to be done and then there's gonna be no more Magnolia and BJ. Something about this book is giving me like a Court of Silver Flames vibes. Like the ending of this book is giving Climb the Mountain. The deed. It's done. I don't really know what to do now. This is one of the best book series I have ever read. I actually don't know how to like move on with my life now, not to be over dramatic, but like what am I supposed to do? I also can't stop crying, which is so embarrassing, but also it feels so valid because like what the hell? This book series is so good. I can't believe that like I was so hesitant to pick it up. It's so funny how like most of the books that you end up loving or falling in love with take you by surprise, or you've had on your shelf for ages, because the ACTA series, I bought the first book in October and I didn't read it until February, and that changed my life. And I've had the Magnolia Parks books for a while. I just never picked them up because obviously I'm a fantasy girly. That's my genre of choice. Picking up something a bit different is a bit scary, but oh my god. If you're watching this video and you haven't read the books, please go and read them. I'm probably gonna have to go and pick up like a Chestnut Springs book or something, just like easy and mindless that I know will make me feel happy. That's what I need after this. I feel like I need to go and like get a tattoo for these books now. Like, it's living in my brain rent-free is not enough. I need it like inked on my skin permanently. Wow. Insane. Insane. I can't believe we're done. We're at the end of this video. I finished Into the Dark last night, as you saw. This is a 5-star read for me. I honestly don't think I can sit here and like review or give ratings for each individual book because it just doesn't do it justice. Like the whole series for me is 5 stars. The individual ratings vary from like 4 to 5 stars, but the whole series is 5 stars. I am absolutely ridiculously obsessed with this book series. I do think it's one of those book series that I'm gonna be thinking about for the rest of my life, like every day. This is gonna be like a Roman Empire type of book series. I also like immediately need the next Daisy Haites books. I'm not ready for it to be done, and the fact that this is the last Magnolia book makes me feel so sad. Like I don't want to think about it because I will start to cry, and I don't want to cry. I am so cautious of going into like a book slump now after that because that was such an amazing series to read. I'm just obsessed. Top 5 book series ever. This is just so good. I did, while filming, have some thoughts about spoilers. So this part of the vlog is going to be spoilers. I'm going to put on the screen what time you can skip to if you don't want any spoilers at all. But this is your last warning because I'm about to talk about spoilers. Spoilers, welcome to the spoiler section. I think someone is going to die at the end of this book. I don't know who though. I do not know who. But I think someone's going to die. And I think I'm probably going to cry. Oh, fuck me. Who's going to... I don't even want to think about it. I just need to read it and figure out what happens. How tall are you anyway? 6'1". Parks. Right, no, sorry. He's actually 6'3" and we're in love and we're friends now. This fucking book. Oh, the thought crossed my mind. But I didn't think that it was gonna be that. I thought maybe someone else. I have the same age difference with my younger sister and we are really close, so that really hits hard. But also like the most grounded, down-to-earth, sane, sensible voice of reason in the book. Are you kidding me? It deserves so much better. It's such a reminder of like life is so short and you never know what could happen. I honestly, as soon as the car crash scene happened and then BJ was like, did you get checked? And she shrugged and said she was just fine, just a couple scratches. I was like, something was gonna happen. Like she's probably gonna have like a brain bleed and an aneurysm or a stroke or something. Like that's always what happens. And obviously I don't know what happens because I haven't read on yet. But now I have to go and read Daisy Haites, which is, I'm gonna have to live through the same timeline, but obviously the ending of that book as well, Julian got shot. So we're gonna find out why Christian and that was gone, but I think it's gonna connect some way to why Christian and Jonah's mum was unwell and in the hospital. Like it's so complex, but oh my god, I thought someone was gonna die, but I didn't think that it'd be Bridget. I thought it'd be one of the boys maybe, like something gang related. But then that car that hit Magnolia, maybe that was gang related. Oh my god, I have so many theories. Oh, I feel sick though, like that is just really sad. And it just continues with my theory that like when things are going well in the book, something really bad is gonna happen. Like they can never be happy for too long. And also while some characters are okay, the other characters aren't, and it goes back and forth. Like, not everyone can just be happy at once, and it's really, really sad. I'm so exhausted and upset for them. In another life I could have loved you, I tell her. She gives me a little smile back. In another life I would have let you. Never you mind that I already love her in this one. Oh, Julian! I love Julian, but I know Julian's not for her. Like, the entire story is like Magnolia and BJ are gonna be together, right? They have to be. Like, that's just the two of them. The text with Tora being like, when are you gonna tell Jonah that it's not him? It's just getting messy, and I'm like, is it not him? I cried my eyes out at the wedding, guys. I can't believe it. The wedding was perfect. BJ in book 1 compared to BJ in Into the Dark is insane. I did not think that you could make me like BJ. I did not think it was gonna happen, but getting his backstory and understanding why the way he is in The Long Way Home was honestly so heartbreaking, and I feel so sorry for him. He really did go to therapy and show up and try his hardest to make things right, and he didn't excuse any of his behavior, and I'm not excusing any of his behavior, but it makes sense. Like, it makes so much more sense than just because he wanted to, and it actually makes me feel so sad and sick. I love this. I love this so much. I love BJ. I love Magnolia. They're so flawed but feel real, and I just love these books. Absolutely sobbed at their vows for each other. It was the most beautiful thing ever. Like, I went and reread that scene 4 times after I finished filming last night, and then cried myself to sleep. I am really nervous though about the next Daisy Haites books, because what the heck is going on with like Jonah and Julian? And like, for some part in this book it was like the Haites and the Hems were rivals and on opposite sides. I need to know what happened with Christian, because who the hell is Sasha? I'm not feeling good about it. And obviously I think that Daniela Driver is like a security guard or something for Magnolia because of what happened. I'm very worried. Like, I still think that maybe one of the boys could die, something gang related, like something's gonna happen there. I don't know. There is so much about Jonah and so much that I need to know. I'm such a Julian girly. Like, I love Julian so much, and I feel so nervous and sick thinking about what's gonna happen or what's going to come. I also don't really like the whole like Torcy and Killian thing. I don't know, I wasn't like a huge fan on that. I don't know if we'll maybe get more info on that from the Daisy Haites books, but probably not, because they're not really talking that much, or weren't, at least in this. I don't know. I definitely do think I'm a Daisy girly, but I do think the Magnolia Parks books hit harder. You're sort of going in blind with them, whereas when you get to the Daisy books, you sort of know the big things that is going to come. Also, can't believe they killed Bridget. Like, I can't believe that still. That makes me feel sick. BJ and his note cards, he wrote her speech. He wrote the speech that she thought she'd make. Like, I'm actually gonna like start crying again now thinking about it. The fact that he loved her as well. They'd go for lunches and she sent him the therapy. You're all here to bury the smartest girl, the sharpest shooter in the whole wide world, but I'm burying my guiding light. It's actually so upsetting, because she was Magnolia's, like, she was the most grounded and level-headed character, and was there for Magnolia with all of Magnolia's issues, and she obviously didn't really have a relationship with her parents and no one to go to. Like, it's just so sad. And I'm gonna start crying again. I love these books so much. No joke, I need everyone to go and like read these now. But if you've made it all the way to the end here, make sure you subscribe. If you haven't read the Magnolia Parks books, go and read the Magnolia Parks books. And I'll see you guys in the next video.